Back to America's most powerful talk lineup, WHIO.
Have you ever heard of this guy?
It's Todd. It's Todd, honey.
He's funny.
Monday through Friday.
5 to 7.
On the radio?
You can tell she likes Todd for Todd. Well, you're not real character, that one.
Todd, let's do this.
Get the show started.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call me now, 937-457-1290.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Oh, Todd, you got off the couch today. So we're gonna give you just a little bit of praise. A little bit of praise just for you. Well, you actually got off your couch today. You know we gotta give you praise. Sing that name. Woo! Oh, Todd, we praise you.
It is the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Oh my gosh, tonight on the show, we have so much to talk about. All right, just off the top, OJ died. You want to talk about it? Great. I got nothing to say about the guy. All I can say is I remember sitting at Norton's on Wilmington down the street from the old WHIO studios. I was there in the summer. I don't know who I was with, some friends, watching the NBA Finals, and all of a sudden there's a white Bronco. And we're like, what the hell is that? And, of course, that was a big OJ chase. So he died. And to quote the father of the late Ron Goldman, "It's no great loss to the world. It's a further reminder of Ron's being gone." So if you got a comment on OJ, fine. If not, who cares? I'm just being honest with you. We also have a Dammit dog. We have Dumb Ways to Die. We've got a Florida man. And one of my favorite stories, we got a naked guy going Kool-Aid Man and busting through a wall. This is great. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about it. The first thing I wanted to mention, and I posted this on my Facebook page, and I'm hoping that, first of all, if you are a regular listener to the show and you happen to be on social media, I would like to invite you to follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Evening Edge Todd. Reason being is lots of times during the day, throughout the week, even on the weekends, if I see a story that I think the Edgeheads might be entertained by or informed by, or just something important that you need to know, I post it. And a lot of people, they follow and they get those stories. Well, this is one that I posted last night. So I got a message from Edgehead Katie, and she informed me that a house in my neighborhood, and I know exactly where this house is. I drive by it all the time. They have in their front yard, right there by the curb, they built this beautiful little, I wouldn't call it a birdhouse by any stretch. It's a mini library, but it looks like a big, beautiful, extravagant house on a pole. You get what I'm saying? And it's got a little door and some shelves, and they put books in there. They put books in there for kids in the neighborhood who can, and maybe they do adult books, not adult books, but you know what I mean. Books that adults might read, like Tom Clancy or something like that. But they put books in there for the folks in the neighborhood to come in, get a book, read it, put it back. Or if they have books that they want to donate, they put books in there, and other people come along and they grab these books. It's a great thing. I don't know if they put food out there. I have seen like food pantries before. I've just never noticed if there's cans of food in there. Maybe there is. I'm not sure. But I know they have books. But they also have, where this house is, this little book nook or whatever you want to call it, they've done some landscaping around it. They've put some rocks down. They've got flowers. They've got, like a little yard flag. They've done a really, really nice job of putting this together. And it's been there. I think it's been there since we moved in a couple of years ago. Well, I got this message from Edgehead Katie last night that someone, and it's all caught on video, ripped off all the books out of the little house, the little book nook. They took all of the decorations that they had down around the base of it. They took the flag, the little yard flag, and I think they even took a basket that was sitting there with other items, books, whatever it might be. They just stole it. And you see it clear as day. It's some tubby woman in a pink sweatshirt and black sweatpants and some goon in a black car, a sedan of some sort. And it looks like some other scumbag is sitting in the passenger seat watching. But they're going up to this thing and stealing it and taking it back to their car. And they just they make 4 or 5 trips. And this is in the middle of the day. It's just remarkable how brazen that was. It wasn't, they didn't even attempt to hide themselves. You know, lots of times when you see these videos of people walking out of a, like a Meijer or something like that, or Walmart, and they're trying to steal something. Not always, but lots of times, they got the ball cap down over their head. They got a big collar up. They're trying to hide themselves because they know that there's security cameras there. Well, in this day and age, you need to know that a good majority of the homes are going to have security cameras. And if I recall, these folks at Christmas time, they do a pretty impressive Christmas display. And I'm sure they have cameras out just for that reason. Maybe for the book nook, but primarily, I'm guessing, because they don't want people coming up and stealing their decorations, which, of course, we all know that happens. It happens. But I posted these pictures last night on my Facebook, and there's probably, and there was a link to the Concerned Citizens of Riverside, which I am a member. Because, like I said, this is right around my corner, right around where I live. So I'm asking that, if you haven't seen it, go to my Facebook page and take a look at these people, because the pictures are as clear as day of who they are. You see their faces. You see her face in particular. And she's wearing some sort of pink sweat jacket and black sweatpants. At one point, she's bending over. Quite the ass. Huge. You could probably spot that a mile away. But that's the kind of scumbags that are out there. So please go take a look at it and see if you know these people. Other people have commented on other threads about these particular folks that they've seen that car before in the neighborhood. And they've said, oh, those people have stolen from me. So I don't know if they're porch pirates and they just happened to see this book nook and thought, oh, okay. Or what the story is. It looks like in the back of their car, and again, this is a sedan. And my wife and I were looking at this picture, and we couldn't make heads or tails of what was in the back, but I'm not kidding you. It looks like a dishwasher. Like a giant dishwasher sideways lodged in there with straps holding. So I'm wondering if there's a house in my neighborhood missing a dishwasher. That maybe they've been casing the neighborhood. I don't know. I mean, ultimately, in the big scheme of things, right? A bunch of kids' books doesn't cost that much. A yard flag, what, $10? Right? And some of the other decorations, probably not a lot of money. But that's not the point. The point is that the tranquility of the neighborhood was disrupted by these people And they need to be stopped. They need to be stopped. So I'm urging you, please, please, please go to my Facebook page and take a look at these folks. Unfortunately, the camera angle from the house, you didn't get the license, or the license plate. I look back on my security cameras thinking that maybe, they went down the street and hung a left and then took a right or whatever, that maybe I would see something. I didn't see anything either. But, there are going to be a lot of homes in that neighborhood that do have cameras. And this is on Silverleaf, over by the Seville Estates. It's in the Seville Estates. So if you live in that area and you live near Silverleaf and you've got security cameras from yesterday, I'm not sure what, I have to go back and look at the time, but go to my Facebook. You'll see it was probably around, I don't know, probably between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. And look at your cameras. If you got the footage saved, maybe you'll catch it. But for sure, it was a man and woman in a black sedan with a what looks like a dishwasher in the trunk or something. Now, I know in the big scheme of things, this isn't that huge of a deal. But when I got that story, I was just incensed by it. I can imagine that there are kids in the neighborhood that probably look forward to going over to the Book Nook. Again, I don't know if it's called the Book Nook. I'm just calling it the Book Nook. But they go to this little Book Nook and take a book, read it, put it back, and they share. They probably talk to their friends about the books that they read. That's pretty cool. I wish I would have had something like that in my neighborhood when I was growing up. But it's just infuriating that they would target something like that of no real financial value. What are they going to do? Take the books to some pawn shop? How much can I get for these kids' books? How much for this yard flag? But no, they just did it out of meanness and just being nasty human beings. So please take a look and see if we can bring these punks to justice.
What am I listening to now? What is this?
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
It's a radio show. It's entertainment.
Spell it out, punk.
Double D.
H.
Oh.
Double L.
S-T. I can remember that.
Locally grown, seriously funny.
I'm puzzled by the whole thing.
On WHIO.
WHIO news time is 5:20. Now your Storm Center 7 forecast.
Going through this.
All right. Got that off my chest. Hope everybody's having a good day. Hey, Leslie. Hi, Heather. What's up, Matthew? Thank you, as always. Clinton, what's up? Yeah, I've got a story about a Kool-Aid Man that went crazy inside an Airbnb. And I have to be honest, when I saw that story, I immediately thought of Clinton because of the comment he made a week or so ago about Kool-Aid Man. So I've got one coming up on that. Yeah, just take a look at the pictures. I'm sure people have seen them before. I mean, because here's the thing. If they're doing this during the middle of the day, they probably don't have jobs. And they're just driving around stealing stuff. Coming home every night with a trunk full or back seat full of stuff that they've pilfered. Ashley, there's a house in my neighborhood that has a little, I don't know what you would call it. Call it a house, a little house. It's a little bookshelf with a door, and it's all fancy and it's nice. And they put books in there for kids in the neighborhood to come and get it. And somebody stopped by there yesterday and just stole all the books out of there, took all the yard decorations that were on the ground in front of it. You know, and this stuff has no value whatsoever, really. Absolutely no value. But they just did it to steal, you know? You know what's funny is I've seen those rocks before, Christopher, and I have visions of somebody really really hitting those rocks and going flying. You got to be the right kind of rocks, otherwise they're launching pads. You know, like an on ramp. Here's the picture of her ass, by the way. Quite sizable. Oh, is it? I didn't see. Is it Allison's? Mindy, it's located on Silverleaf Road. It's in Riverside. It's off of Burkhart, over behind Seville School.
Russia continues its attack on Ukrainian resources. We'll have more at 5:30. Now back to the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst on 1290 and 95.7 WHIO.
From a psychological standpoint, the radio station represents a link to normalcy.
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Did you get that? It's 5 to 7. Right now on my Facebook page and also at WHIO.com, if you click on radio, the little hamburger menu there on the left, go down to radio contest. You can enter to win one of the few remaining I Got Mooned with the Evening Edge t-shirts from the Eclipse this past Monday. Soon to be a collector's item. I'm sure I will see them on eBay for dozens of dollars. More likely they'll be at the Goodwill here in about 6 months. Miles in Dayton. What's up, Miles?
Hey, Todd.
Yeah.
Love your show for number one.
Thank you so much.
But you said it first, and I'm going to say it again. Scumbags.
Yeah.
I
don't get it.
I'm very familiar with that area.
Yeah, I don't get it because there's no value to it. It wasn't like they stole somebody's lawnmower. They didn't steal, a package from Amazon. They stole kids' books, for crying out loud, which, you can go. I just mentioned Goodwill. You could go to Goodwill and buy, a giant box of kids' books for like $5.
Exactly.
It's just.
Anyways, you're putting the word out. I got my eyeballs focused. We're going to catch them. And you know what? Scumbags.
That's right. And when we do, we're going to give them a beatdown. Thanks for your call, Miles.
What am I listening to now?
What is this?
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
It's a radio show. It's entertainment.
Spell it out, punk.
Double D.
H. Double L.
S-T. I can remember that.
Locally grown, seriously funny
I'm puzzled by the whole thing.
on WHIO.
Yes, happy birthday, Allison. Oh, that's nice. I've never had a crumble cookie before. There's one not far from us there in Beaver Creek. And every time we go by, it's there are people lined up. do some of your imitations for us. Let's see. Imitations. Wow, I'm not sure what I should do. Well, I've heard that. I've heard that those cookies are like crack. Well, you say I've heard those crumble cookies are like crack. See, that wasn't very good. Well, that's very kind of you, Kelly. The house is on Silverleaf. I don't know the exact address, and I don't want to give it out, But if you make it to Silverleaf there in Riverside, you will see a big book nook, whatever it's called. I guess I should have figured out how much or what it was called, but it's just a little library. Here it is. It's the Bibbidi Bobbidi Books on Silverleaf. Okay, I got it now. I got it. Well, I'll tell you, Caroline, I can kind of do John Wayne a little bit, but it's more of a cartoonish version of John Wayne. Book boxes. Yeah, that makes sense. See, we didn't have those when I was a kid. Guess I was overthinking it. Do I do any politicians? Most of my political impersonations are really impersonations like of other people doing them. I used to do Reagan, like, well, there you go again, that kind of thing. I think I used to kind of mess around with George Bush Sr., but it was all like the catchphrases. It was always like Dana Carvey doing, George Bush. Not gonna do it. 1,000 points of light, that kind of thing. I haven't done those in a long time. Little libraries. Like I said, I think I was just overthinking it.
Anytime. Now back to America's most powerful talk lineup, WHIO.
Everybody, could I have your attention, please?
I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Now, hold on, dummy. Just you listen to me.
Now, listen to me carefully. You boys got something to say to me? Why don't you talk into the microphone?
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call me at 457-1290.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. So during the news there, I figured out the name of this little library on Silverleaf. And I guess I just Forgot about it last night. I was calling it a book nook. I think I was overthinking it. Kelly on the live stream said, in our neighborhood, we just call them book boxes. I guess that would make sense. It's a box of books. But this particular little library, if you will, and I'm okay with giving this out because they have a Facebook page. It's called the Bibbidi Bobbidi Books on Silverleaf. Bibbidi Bobbidi Books on Silverleaf. So, a few people on the live stream said, "Oh, we'll replace the books. We'll go drop off some books." That's fine. I candidly, I don't know these folks. I just know that they live around the corner from me, and that I see their book box all the time as I'm driving by. So, if you want to go and drop off books, find Silverleaf. You'll see the box. Knock yourselves out. I mean, I'm sure they would appreciate it. I'm sure they would. 937-457-1290. Let's talk to WC real quick. Hey, WC. Hello,
Todd?
Yeah, hey, WC.
Well, sounds like you just said what I wanted to say.
Oh,
I wanted people to keep those good people's hopes up and bring books back to them.
Yeah, I mean it's easy to find. It's off of Burkhart. Just put it into your GPS, put it into your phone, and you'll see it. It's the only house that has a book box.
Sure.
So, yeah.
But, that's the best retaliation is when somebody does something stupid. Just everybody come together and replace what got took.
Right. And I'm just glad that they didn't. It was bad enough that they stole stuff. I'm just glad they didn't vandalize anything.
Yeah.
Because they put a lot of work into that book box. It's a nice looking thing. It's a nice little treat in the neighborhood.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, don't let them get distraught, help them out.
They'll rebound for sure. And now people are going to be looking for these scumbags. We know what they look like.
I hope they find them.
Yeah, we know what they look like. We've seen their scumbag faces, we've seen their scumbag butts, and we've seen their scumbag car. So they're going to be looking for those folks out there. Thank you, WC. 937-457-1290. We have some breaking the law news. And this one is special.
Throwing food at you. It's criminal.
We don't waste food around here.
Food is not a weapon.
Put down the pickle.
I was attacked with baloney.
Floating mashed tater ball.
If you persist in throwing food, I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
If you've been listening to the show for any amount of time, you know that I have a very hardcore belief that food ought not be used as a weapon. And when stories come up where food is being used as a weapon, I bring it here to the show for discussion. And this is one food item that I don't think I've ever talked about people using as a weapon. We've had stories about people using hot dogs. We've had people using tacos. That's a popular one. Pizza sometimes. Not long ago, we had somebody using, I think, a slushie. Snickers bar has been used. Did I mention hot dogs? Those are easy to throw. So lots of time, and it's usually like at a convenience store. Somebody goes in, they're probably drunk, and they get angry for whatever reason. They start pulling those roller wieners off the grill, and they just start throwing them at people, and that's not good. But this happened down in Austin, Texas. A Austin man is in jail after police say he assaulted a retail employee at a Walgreens with a Pop-Tart. The 33-year-old man is facing second-degree felony robbery charges. According to arrest documents, the store employee accused Steele of shoplifting, leading to an argument between the two in the parking lot. Police say video captured the moment the altercation escalated, and the suspect, by the name of Jonathan Steele, sounds like a spy or something, threw Pop-Tarts at the collar, or threw Pop-Tarts at the employee, hitting him in the collarbone and causing minor injury. Now, he shouldn't have been throwing food at anybody, especially a Pop-Tart, and especially a raw Pop-Tart, because raw Pop-Tarts are a little more heftier than a Pop-Tart that's been put in a toaster. Now, William, my producer, is looking at me like, what are you talking about? The thing is when they get hot, they get a little mushy, right? Yeah, they do. At least when I used to have Pop-Tarts, they'd get a little mushy, a little softer. No, you don't think so? Huh. Well, I guess you could put, you certainly could put somebody's eye out with a Pop-Tart, right? But this guy suffered a injury to his collarbone because he got hit by a Pop-Tart. So the man remains in jail on a $1,500 bond. So another story of someone using food as a weapon. Today, speaking of food as a weapon, I was almost assaulted by my wife with a cheeseburger. And this is what happened. And I don't know if she's listening right now. If she is, she can defend herself and call by any, I'm fine with her calling. So we're still carpooling because my car engine blew probably about a month ago. I'm still trying to figure out what to do. We're trying to get some financing together. We're doing all the things that you do. And I didn't want to just go out and buy a new car. So we're trying to figure it all out. So we've been carpooling. So today, she picks me up to bring me to work. She leaves work. She picks me up. She drives me to work. But she gets tired of driving all the time. So she hops in the passenger seat and I drive myself, So we stop at McDonald's and I grab a double cheeseburger, mayo pickle only. And we're driving down the road and she's getting it out of the bag for me because I'm driving. I don't want to crash and hit a building or anything. But she says, it smells like feet in here. In her car. It smells like feet. And I said, well, it's because your feet smell. And she did two things. One, I know she had the burger. She thought about winging it. But then she did something that was even more potentially dangerous. She slipped off her shoe and shoved it in my face as I was driving. Now that is dangerous. That is dangerous. I mean, not only ducking out of the way, to try to avoid the shoe coming at my face, but the odor would knock you out. And you just be like driving right off into the median or something. And she said, how can you be so rude? I guess I should have played my my little open here that I do. Where'd it go? Oh, here we go.
Things I do that irritate my wife. Things I do that irritate my wife.
But I had to remind her, and this is my defense. The other day, she commented like her shoes that she was wearing smelled. In fact, she's done it twice. She's mentioned it twice. So I was just merely reminding her. It's like, well, buy some new shoes. And I don't think that her feet smell. I've been around her feet. It's the shoes. And sometimes the shoes are the culprit. Especially shoes that you don't wear with socks, because these are like slip-on mules. Right? And she just slips her feet into them. They're fashionable. She's trendy. She looks great in them. But when you're walking around and, with bare feet and shoes, sometimes it, you know what I mean? So, but I was thinking, and I asked the question, I said, well, how do you tell your spouse that maybe their feet stink or that they have BO or whatever it might be without incurring the wrath of a cheeseburger or a shoe in the face? Like, what do you do? Like, how do you approach that? And I thought, well, this would be an interesting topic for all you folks out there that are married or in a relationship. When you're presented with this kind of scenario, I'm hoping that you just have a good enough relationship. You can say, hey, look, I need to talk to you about something. Your feet are killing me. Sometimes at night, I'll be sitting in my chair, and I've got my feet up on the little hassock, as I call it, and I'm wearing I'm barefoot. I go barefoot around the house, and she is too, and she puts her feet up there. But like I said, her feet don't generally smell. But in some cases, if you live with a spouse who has smelly feet, that's like a no-go, right? So what do you do? What do you say? Do you leave a note? Do you send them a text? Do you anonymously leave a message for them? She liked my idea. I said, well, what about this? If you're having trouble, and I think this probably works best for guys that might have a wife or significant other who have smelly feet. I said, I should go to First Florist and buy you a bouquet of flowers and put a little note in there that says, I love you, dear. I wish your feet smelled like this bouquet. And she thought that was a brilliant idea. It's a nice way of sending the message. I don't think it's terribly passive aggressive. Right? And she gets a bouquet of flowers out of it. Works for me.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
WHIO news time is 5:50. Now your Storm Center 7 forecast.
Going through this evening, I'd expect cloudy skies with on and off rain showers. There is the
Hey, Rob, how you doing? I could do that. I could just buy her new shoes. But these are like she loves these shoes. Oh, yeah. That's a good idea. Nope, Steve, I haven't gotten to that story yet. I will, but he's actually in St. Louis. Exactly, Lon. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm not going to take her shoes. No, 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 no. I've already had my run-ins with my wife and her shoes. Not anything, violent. Ah. Yep, I just looked at the message from Shannon. So I'm not going to wow.
Now for our devoted listeners, back to the show.
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Well, I have a development to share with you in the book box that was robbed yesterday in my neighborhood on Silverleaf. I got a message from Shannon. She is the owner of the Bibbidi Bobbidi Books there on Silverleaf. She says, hey, Todd, I'm the owner. I'm listening to you live right now. Thanks so much for bringing light to the situation. Great job. We had a witness come by that told us the same couple. You ready for this? You know, they often say thieves and burglars and criminals are idiots. We had a witness come by and told us that the same couple stopped by his house wanting to cut down trees. Gave them a business card. Now, I'm not going to say the name of the business. But I'm going to let the police deal with that, okay? Confirmation that these are the people responsible for the thefts. This couple was older and said the culprits were going door to door in the neighborhood giving sob stories. So not only did these idiots rob a book box of kids' books that really there's no value, they just did it to be jerks. They had to know that at some point they'd be caught on video. And they went around to other homes in the area and gave out business cards on how to get in touch with them. See what I'm saying? Not very bright. But the police have been notified, and we'll see how it unfolds. Richard in Dayton. What's up, Richard?
Well, speaking of not very bright.
I know. Well, criminals are generally stupid.
No. I'm talking about what you said about your wife. I hope you have somewhere to stay tonight. I really do.
Oh, I thought you
need to find yourself a marriage counselor. You need to find yourself an attorney. Because don't think he's coming to pick you up this evening. I don't believe you said that. I'm in a state of shock. But you told that story about her feet stink. You told the world on the radio.
Technically, I think it's her shoes that stink. I don't think it's her feet. I said that. Her feet generally don't stink. It's the shoes. So really, the problem is with the shoes. It's not with her feet or her. It's the shoes.
Todd, you should have thought about that before you told that story.
Oh, okay? I thought about it all day long. I did, Richard. I did. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate your call. I don't think I'm going to be in trouble tonight. I don't think we need a marriage counselor. We don't need a lawyer or anything like that. Maybe we do need to stop at Walgreens and get some foot lotion. Maybe a little menthol smell.
What am I listening to now?
What is this?
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
It's a radio show. It's entertainment.
Fill it up.
Double D.
H.
Double L. S-T. I can remember that.
Locally grown, seriously funny.
I'm puzzled by the whole thing.
On WHIO.
We are, Caroline. It's a problem that many people have. Hi, Kimberly. How you doing? Grumbling. I'm doing well. We'll see how well I'm really doing, though, when my wife picks me up. Thank you, Kimberly. I guess we'll find out if I'm here tomorrow. We have a special announcement about talk host Todd Hollst. Last night, of course, all you got to do is say the magic word, Kimberly. I heard you. Jackpot! Yeah. You guys can read lips pretty well. Oh, thank you, Caroline. I'm going to talk to my producer here.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
It is the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Got the live stream up and running. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. If you'd like to watch the show, you know what's cool about the live stream is that right now there's about 30-some people watching. A lot of them, not all, but many of them are also commenting during the show. They're posting comments. They're talking to each other. They're making jokes at my expense. That's fine. I enjoy it. Somebody just says the show is funnier. Maybe, I don't know. You do get to see my facial expressions, so maybe that helps. But also during the commercial breaks, when you're listening to commercials, I'm still doing the show. I'm still entertaining them. I'm chatting with them. In fact, I just mouthed to my producer, "I want to talk to you on the air." And I didn't actually say that, but that's what I mouthed, and people were like, "Oh, he wants to talk to the producer on the air." So, I want to talk to the producer on the air. Hey, William, how you doing? William, by the way, he was the, if you heard us on Monday during the big eclipse, he was the guy out there sort of running the show, making sure that that I stayed on track. He put up the tent, he put up the table, he put up all the gear, he helped me with the food, and protected me from that crazy attack pigeon. And you got a T-shirt for it. That's right. You got one of those hard to find, hard to get. I got Moon with the Evening Edge T-shirts. William, the reason I wanted to have you on here is, are you a video game guy? Somewhat? Okay. So, I was a video game guy, a kid, if you will, back in the day, like when Atari came out and Intellivision and Activision. Those were the ones during my day. And then the Nintendo came out, the NES came out, and I played on that. But after that, I really kind of lost interest in the video games. And then I had my own child, and he was really into video games, so I kind of got into it again. And there were some games that I played, but I was playing mostly like golf, golf or soccer. But the one game I really enjoyed was Red Dead Redemption. And there was a couple of like World War II games that I played. But the reason I bring this up is that there is a movie that's coming out later this summer based on a game called Borderlands. And do you know about this? Okay. Right. And I thought, okay, well, I know, and that's based on this video game. And I thought, I know that there are movies out there where it was first a game, then it was a movie, right? Back in my day, lots of times there was the movie and then the game. For example, and probably one of the greatest examples of the worst video game ever, period, but also based on a movie, E.T. This is a big Atari legend. This was horrible game. But that was based on the movie. Now, one of my other favorite games that I enjoy playing on the Atari was Pitfall. And Pitfall was basically a guy running through a jungle, trying to gather up, jewels and treasures and that sort of thing. And he was running from, I think, natives. He was running from animals. He was jumping over pits. And it wasn't called Indiana Jones, but it basically was. It was kind of the same idea, right? So I started thinking, it's like, well, I wonder what other movies are based on reality or based on video games. So I got online, and I will just tell you up front that this is Wikipedia. So you always got to take whatever you read on Wikipedia with a grain of salt. But I'm not kidding. There are probably Movies that, and these are just action movies. I'm not even talking about animation. There's probably about 50 movies that have been made about video games or based on video games. Yeah, and there are approximately 3 pages of upcoming movies based on video games. The first one that they list came out in 1993, and this is one that many people are going to obviously be familiar with. It was a Super Mario Brothers movie. Now, I think that was like live action. Yeah, it wasn't animation. It was 2 guys in costumes dressed as Luigi and Mario, right? And that made $38 million. Now, back in 1993, probably not bad. The next one that came out after that, I don't remember this one, Double Dragon. I don't remember that. That only made $4 million at the box office. But then the one that nearly cracked the 100 million mark was Street Fighter. And I remember that movie, and I remember the game, and I remember the game being at the Beaverview Bowling Alley. I remember friends playing that. Mortal Kombat was a big one. Now, one of the games that I remember on Atari was Wing Commander. And they turned that into a video game or into a movie. And there's a bunch of other ones. I mean, I'm not going to go through every single one of these. A lot of them I've never heard of. There was one, Sonic the Hedgehog. That one made $405 million in 2022, just a couple of years ago. But there are some of these films that are coming up. There's one for Minecraft. There's one for something called Bendy and the Ink Machine. Untitled Dead by Daylight. I mean, there's a lot of these that are just, in the works. But I started thinking, it's like, okay, so I know the audience of the Evening Edge, and most of them are probably like 25 plus, right? I'm 54. I'd love to hear what movie somebody would like to see based on a video game that they played when they were growing up. My favorite video game of all time was Space Invaders. And I was sitting here, thinking like, well, what would be the premise of Space Invaders? Because the Space Invaders is just a bunch of, little spaceships sort of bouncing across the screen in unison, and you just hit the button, that kind of thing, and you're trying to blow them up. But there's got to be something more to that. Like they take really probably just the name, and then they build a story around it, right? But then I thought, well, what about games like Q*bert? The little Q*bert guy. Or Centipede. Yes. I have heard that. But I was thinking specific, like one movie, like they've got, Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, right? They've got movies based on all those games. And those were games first. So I just thought it might be kind of entertaining to see if people have any idea on what movie they want to see made based on a video game that they played when they were growing up. Or maybe they still do. Like I mentioned, I love Red Dead Redemption. I have not yet played the sequel, and I want to. I just don't have a game system anymore. But that might be an interesting movie. I mean, it's based on a Western, right? And it's a lot of fun. You ride around on a horse. It's like this almost limitless world that you live in, that you exist in, and you fight bears, you fight other bad guys. You get to rob and pillage. It's lots of fun. I even think there's an encounter with Sasquatch, if I'm not mistaken. I remember reading that somewhere. Yeah, see, now that right there would be a great movie. A cowboy and Sasquatch. You can't go wrong. Right. Yeah, yeah. Now, see, I would imagine that there's probably a ton of video games that are based on Walking Dead, right? Like, there's got to be tons of zombie games, a very, very popular thing right now. So I'd just be curious if anybody's got thoughts on that. A movie that maybe, or a game that you played as a kid that you'd like to see made into a film.
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Jason, that's crazy. Now, if I recall, because my son was he was the one who wanted to get the Red Dead Redemption. There was like the first Red Dead Redemption, and it was not good at all, if I recall correctly. Just not good at all. And then there was the one that I'm talking about, which was really, first person, a lot of fun. I loved that game. I played that game for hours. And then there was the follow-up to that one. That's the one that I haven't played. I hope the guy was okay, Jason, who crashed into the neighbor's garage. Thank you, Courtney. I appreciate it. Thank you. Keystone Capers. Oh, Zelda. Yeah, that's a good one. I remember playing that one. Is it The Adventures of Link or something like that? I think my sister was, she played that one the most. Thank you, Clinton. for the link to the shoe deodorizer. Zork. I always forget to put the messages up on the screen.
For you.
Oh, that's funny.
This? The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. You know, one of my favorites, really my favorite, founding father was Benjamin Franklin. I love that guy. He just seemed like a very worldly, wild, crazy dude who was smart and was an inventor. And there's a new miniseries coming on to Apple TV Plus about Ben Franklin. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not sure how this is going to work out. I like actor Michael Douglas. He's playing Ben Franklin. That is a weird casting choice. I think. It's hard to beat the man, and his name's escaping me, but the man who played Ben Franklin in the movie or the series about John Adams. That guy, I mean, I thought he nailed it. But we'll see. And it's tomorrow. It starts tomorrow night on Apple TV Plus. Ben Franklin. John and Dayton. Hey, John.
Hello?
Yeah, John. What's up, man?
Yeah, hey, Todd. One that you didn't mention, and I believe was based on a video game, was called 1982 Tron, Jeff Bridges.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. That might have been... why is that one not on the list? Because that's like one of the first. That was like one of the first ones.
Yeah, and it was sort of like half and half, semi-automated, and then of course Jeff Bridges and the people were real. But yeah,
I remember the video game. You were riding around on those like little motorcycles.
Yeah,
you remember, and you're kind of going through a maze or something, or you try to make right angle turns and make the other guy crash or something.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen that one.
Yeah.
And I think you're right about Michael Douglas. I don't know if he fits the role of Benjamin. That should be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I love Benjamin Franklin. I actually played Benjamin Franklin in a high school drama class. It was just a scene, but I did the whole Ben Franklin thing. I had the hair, I had the costume, I had the glasses, I had the kite. Yeah, I had the kite. That's right. And the key on the string, the whole deal. But we'll see how Michael Douglas does. Thank you. Let's see, Jerome and Dayton. Hey, Jerome.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm well.
All right.
Jackpot.
Oh, jackpot. Hang on.
All righty. I'm going to help you out on the stink gate of 2024. All right. My kids had stinky feet and all kind of good stuff. And, I always looked at them and it's just like, somebody's kicking harder than Chuck Norris. But with your wife, I would say that you go out and you get the card, the flowers and all kind of good stuff. And you write a little poem in there. And it's just going to be, your toesies are red. My lips are blue. I wish I can breathe. And how about you?
I love that.
Or you got to go the other way, the legal way, and say, just hand her the phone and say it's the EPA and you're in the violation of the Clean Air Act of 1970.
Yeah.
I don't know which way you want to go, but
not that way. Not that way, Jerome. Not that way at all. Not that way at all. I appreciate your call.
I got a spare bedroom for you.
I thank you. I appreciate it.
Bye.
Miles in Dayton, real quickly. Hey, Miles. Hey.
Calling you back. Calling you back. So the scumbags, anyways, I'm glad you got a line on that. But anyways,
we're going to track them down.
The movies and games. So I would love to see a urban cowboy video game where you could ride the bull.
I love that. You could do line dancing.
How fun would that be?
Yes.
When urban cowboy hit, the bulls were everywhere.
Line dancing, bull riding.
I never got on one. I was not going to go there.
You need a bar fight, like a real good bar fight, because there's a bar fight in that movie, of course. That is
Absolutely.
great. And the fancy costumes. Oh, of course. Yeah, that is.
Heck yeah, man. You gotta have. I actually did buy a cowboy hat.
A lot. That was very popular back then. Thank you, Miles. I appreciate it. That's a great idea. The Urban Cowboy movie video game.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
I like that idea. Passion of the Christ video game. All right, Tim. Wow. Oh. Oh, that's a good one. I've never heard of that, Clinton. I've never heard of that game.
Break in anytime. Now back to America's most powerful talk lineup, WHIO.
And now, with your permission, I'm going to do my stuff.
Could this day get any more fantastic?
Let's get on with it.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call me at 457-1290.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Live stream is up and running. Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. A lot of people watch on their phones. Some people watch on their computers. Others watch it on their big screen TV. That's scary. I'm going to stick my tongue out at you right now. There. Somebody made a great suggestion for a movie based on a video game, and I don't know if it's on the list. I didn't zip through it, but Grand Theft Auto. That would be an interesting movie, you know. The other thing I wanted to mention, we had somebody call in earlier and mention Tron, and William, my producer, his dad, I guess, is listening. And he sent a text to William and said, actually, the video game is based on the movie. And I did a quick Google just to confirm. It says Tron is a coin-operated arcade video game manufactured and distributed by Bally Midway in 1982. The game consists of 4 sub-games inspired by the events of the Walt Disney production motion picture Tron, released earlier in the summer. So there you go. But I would imagine they already had it planned, right? I mean, it's like, hey, we're doing this crazy game. It looks very digital, and we want to have a game, or we're doing this movie, and we want to have a game that goes with the movie. And but still, you know, it was based on the film, not the other way around. So thank you for that. We have 3 solid Evening Edge features here. We have Naked News, we have a Dammit Dog, and we have a Dumb Ways to Die. And we're going to blow right through these. So prepare yourselves.
First, we both get naked.
Let's get naked.
Why are you naked?
I didn't know you were naked.
He saw me naked.
I think we should get naked.
Be naked.
I am naked.
Well, there have been a number of people watching the live stream tonight who have been waiting anxiously for this story. And it has to do with a man in St. Louis. He was staying at a Airbnb, which I don't get. I understand that people would maybe rather stay in someone's house while they're not there than go to a hotel. Maybe it's cheaper. I don't know if it's any cheaper. I'd rather stay in a hotel, to be candid with you. But when you open your house up as an Airbnb, you just never know who's going to end up staying there. I mean, they might have references, but you never can tell. Well, that's what happened. Mississippi man staying at an Airbnb in St. Louis was shot on Friday after he allegedly broke through a drywall of his rental unit like Kool-Aid Man and into an adjoining apartment, naked and screaming that he was going to kill everyone in there. The 37-year-old, who says he's a professional musician, has been charged with felonies for burglary and property damage. This happened Saturday. Family members living in the adjoining apartment say they heard strange noises coming from a room that shares a wall with the unit rented out as an Airbnb. When the family member went to investigate, he saw an arm sticking through the drywall. So this guy put his arm not just through the drywall on his side of the wall, but the drywall on the other side of the wall. Fearing for the safety of himself and his family, he retrieved a gun and returned to the room. That's when he saw that the hole in the wall, in the drywall, had gotten bigger and that the naked man had broken completely through, again like Kool-Aid Man, and was in his family's apartment. The family member opened fire, striking the man in his left hand. That was enough to incapacitate him until cops arrived and took him to the hospital for treatment and then to jail. See, Airbnb, I just don't, it's like, they're in some cities, and I don't know how prevalent it is in places like the size of Dayton. I've never heard of it in Dayton, but there are like car sharing apps. If you live in a big city, you don't have a car, you can get on an app and somebody will let you drive their car. Yeah, you got to have insurance. But what? Why would you let anybody drive your car? I don't care if they go through some sort of vetting on the app or whoever it is. And it's the same with Airbnb. I know people love it, and maybe there's folks out there making money from it. Great. But I'm telling you what, I don't want people coming into my house. I don't want people going through my stuff. I mean, they keep having to crack down on folks having house parties. Like somebody will rent an Airbnb, and lots of times, not always, but lots of times, it's in some really nice location, maybe on the beach somewhere. It's some millionaire who has a house on the beach, but only goes there a couple of times a year or whatever it is. And he's like, well, I'm just going to rent it out as an Airbnb. That'd be great. Then somebody comes in, they rent it for a week, they have a giant party, and suddenly there's $1 million worth of damage. They've tried to crack down on that, but it's still, it's crazy, just crazy. All right, now we're moving on to another solid feature here on the Evening Edge. We have a Dammit dog.
The misadventures of Dammit Dog.
Dammit dog! You're exactly right, Cynthia. I should have had the clip of "Oh yeah" for Kool-Aid Man. That would have been great. Should have thought about that. All right, we Dammit dog. We love our dogs, but sometimes, Dammit dog, they'll do something crazy. This is sad. This is a disgusting story, but I'm just gonna share it. United Airlines flight from Houston to Seattle had to be diverted to Dallas due to a passenger's dog pooping in the aisle of first class. The canine's messy incident occurred in first class on April 5th, and the crew spent more than 2 hours trying to clean the plane's carpets with paper towels. Wow. Can you imagine being on a plane, locked in there, no place to go, and a dog with essentially what they say was diarrhea. Right there on the plane. A passenger on the plane told People magazine the mess was so bad in the first class bathroom that even after cleaning, they still closed it for the rest of the flight. Now, wait a second. Wait a second. The dog pooped in the bathroom of the plane? Did somebody take their dog in there to do its business? I guess what happened is it kind of, went out into the aisle. But it sounds like somebody took their dog to the bathroom in the lavatory. Has anybody seen someone do that on a plane? I can't remember. Last time I flew, I don't remember if I flew with anybody who had their dog with them or any pet. Last time I flew, it was kind of before the whole emotional support pet thing. But I'm just curious if that's normal, because you're supposed to, I thought, leave your pet in its cage underneath the seat. The passenger added that travelers were given masks and alcohol wipes to sniff due to a strong odor. I'm not going to read that part. United also confirmed that the flight's meals went bad while they were stuck on the ground, and the cabin's crew members were pleading to the gate crew for more snacks and water. Boy, it was just a bad situation. Bad day there on the United flight. Man, oh man. I tell you, flying is not what it used to be. Not at all. We have a dumb ways to die.
Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die.
William, would you look something up for me real quick? Will you Google Highway 40 near Bert Houd Pass Summit? Berthoud. This is in Colorado. And if you could see exactly how many lanes are on this highway, are we talking like a 2-lane highway? Are we talking 4, 6? What's the story, if you can tell? By the way, whenever we do Dumb Ways to Die, and we haven't actually done one in quite a while, I always preface this by saying we're not making fun of these people and their untimely demise. This is merely a cautionary tale for you when you are out and about running around in the wild. If you're not paying attention or you do something stupid like this guy, death could be waiting for you around any corner. 21-year-old skier died while attempting an extremely dangerous stunt, according to the Grand County Sheriff's Office. They received a 911 call on Tuesday about a skiing accident on Highway 40 near Bert Houd Pass Summit. Did you find it? How many, what are we talking about? So it's just 2 lanes. Well, I guess that could have been manageable. This guy tried to jump the highway, skiing off the mountain, off a cliff, and tried to clear the highway. He didn't make it. When officers arrived, they found the unconscious man not breathing on the roadway and a bystander trying to perform CPR. Paramedics took over and tried to revive the man, but he was pronounced dead at the scene. The sheriff's office says the man, who was actually apparently a stunt skier, attempted to jump over the highway but lacked the necessary speed and distance and subsequently landed on the highway pavement. Ouch. They do say he was wearing a helmet and other protective gear at the time, but clearly that did not protect him. The investigation remains ongoing. Authorities are awaiting the results of the autopsy report to determine his cause of death. Well, impact. I mean, that's what it was. But that's just nuts. That is a dumb way to die. I mean, it's a sad, sad story, but that is a dumb, dumb way to die.
What am I listening to now?
What is this?
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
It's a radio show. It's entertainment.
Spell it out, punk.
Double D.
H.
Double L.
T. I can remember that.
Locally grown, seriously funny.
I'm puzzled by the whole thing.
On WHIO.
Heather, take some good pictures. I want to see a picture of you and the Bigfoot. Bye, Kimberly. Have a nice Thursday night. Bye, Caroline. Have a good weekend. My wife just pulled in and she waved to me from her truck, or from her car.
This is a job for Weenie Man.
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Not quite yet. Not quite yet. I just saw my wife pull in to pick me up, and she waved. She waved to me from her car. So I'm guessing that she didn't hear the first part of the show when I was talking about her shoes. So I think I might be okay. I might be in the clear. Tonight might be one of those nights when I don't really, do the postmortem and tell her about everything I talked about. Just keep it a secret. Hope she doesn't listen to the podcast. Anyway, have a terrific night. I will see you tomorrow. Talk to you tomorrow. Don't forget, you can get the podcast at eveningedgetodd.com and all the other podcast platforms that are out there. Or you can just do the Google and search for Evening Edge Todd. You'll find it. Also, don't forget, on my Facebook page, you can register to win one of the last remaining I Got Moon with the Evening Edge t-shirts. Just have a handful left. So have a terrific night. Oh, she just texted me. She's smiling. Oh. She's flipping me off now. Nice emoji.
Well, show.
Well, everybody, have a great night. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Captain Scurvy. See you, Lana. Hopefully it'll be a shoe-in. We'll see.